Hello, I am Mac for a Day. That is a lie, of course. That's not my name at all, but on the internet I get to be Mac for a Day. Today I will be searching for what I like to call the secret ingredient of making warp cells. It's not a secret, of course, but it is now the most difficult ingredient to get. As I showed in a previous video, Thamium, although some people think it's hard to get, is actually pretty easy to get. I got a whole bunch of it on an empty planet in that video. There's not plutonium. Plutonium's on every planet and about the same amount on every planet. No, the secret ingredient of warp fuel is zinc. Is now the most annoying one to find. So I'm here on this planet that I named East of Eden, and I'm going to collect zinc, but I'm also going to be talking about the bright future of video games, or the bright future of video games that I envision. I'm going to turn my music down a little bit. It was kind of loud. The last video I made, but I'll turn it way down to 50. Yeah, my last video on the empty planet was pretty depressing because I was talking about the current state of the video game world and how it's become mired in linear objective completion. This is a pretty awesome planet, as you can see. It's awesome colors and lots of jumpy jelly creatures and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, my last video was pretty depressing, talking about how AAA games are, even if they're an open world, it's just all about linear progression through a predetermined storyline, including objectives and all that, and when you come to the end, it's over. But I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about the bright future for these video games that I envision. And I talked about it a little bit in that video, that games like Minecraft, and honestly, I don't even like Minecraft. I'm a middle school teacher, and the first time I was exposed to Minecraft was, we do this thing where we reward the students that are all caught up with their homework and grades and everything. Like, you know, once a month on an early dismissal day, kids get to choose special activity that they want to do, and playing computer games is one that I presided over, chaperoned, whatever you want to call it. I was in the room, you know, as they played computer games, making sure they don't play anything with, you know, blood and gore in it or whatever. And this was, you know, several years ago, that they, of course, were playing Minecraft, and it was the first time I've ever seen it. I'd never heard of it, and, you know, they were just messing around with multiplayer, jumping on each other's heads and all that stuff. And I was like, man, that looks so dumb. It's like, it looks like Lego people, and I didn't think much of it at the time. And of course, as time went on, I saw lots more kids playing it. I saw kids start to come to school wearing Minecraft shirts and drawing doodles of Minecraft. I was like, what is going on here? Why is this dumb, boxy looking game so popular? And over time I looked into it more. I just recently bought Minecraft PlayStation 4 edition, which I didn't play much. I played through the tutorial, and then I saw that you know, there wasn't hardly anything you can do unless you buy the you know, other worlds. You have to microtransactions to buy more worlds and everything, which I don't think it's quite like that on computer. But I don't have a PC, I just play on PlayStation 4. I don't have a PC here, I have a PC at my work, but I don't have one at home. But I do respect Minecraft. As I talked before, it is one of the first games in a new generation of games that are not centered around objectives. it's, you know, Minecraft is mainly about building things and sharing those things with others and creating your own game, creating your own adventure and story. Obviously, Minecraft is very simplistic and could be greatly improved upon, and it is being improved upon. I don't think it should just be copied, and it has been copied quite a bit. There's quite a lot of Minecraft games out there, Minecraft-esque games, you know, Roblox and so on and so forth. But taking it to another level, really developing the idea of games with infinite possibilities that you can make your own story is really the way I believe the video game industry should go. Sean Murray, in a 2013 interview Sean Murray did with one of the developers of Insomniac company, Sean Murray even mentioned, kind of pridefully, that he could make a Minecraft clone in about a week. And he was basically saying that the game they were working on, which was very early stages at the time, No Man's Sky, this beautiful game I'm playing right now, was somewhat like Minecraft. But Sean's plan, basically what he was saying, was to make a much better game that was like Minecraft. And in some ways, No Man's Sky is like Minecraft. You mine for materials. People call this genre terrarium style gaming because you mine and build inside of a world. But Sean, obviously there's differences in No Man's Sky. There's no multiplayer, and that's what people complain about the most. They think that No Man's Sky would suddenly magically become the perfect game if it had multiplayer, which I vehemently disagree with. Let's say there was a person right next to me right now, another player. What would that player do? How would that make it, you know, make the game better? I'm headed towards some zinc flowers right now. Would that player that's with me just run ahead and take the zinc flowers from me before I can get to it? I doubt that it would be like PvP, and if it was, it would be horrible because I'd have to be running from the other player as they tried to kill me. Or I guess we could team up and kill the innocent creatures around here. What would be the point of that? I mean, we could race to see how much of the terrain both of us could destroy the most. No Man's Sky is not built for multiplayer. The only multiplayer it has is, you know, naming things and the chance that someone will come and see what you've named, see what you've discovered. That's the only multiplayer it has, and that's the only multiplayer that I think it needs. So enough of that tangent about multiplayer. But the other big thing No Man's Sky has in common with Minecraft, of course, is basically infinite possibilities. The algorithms of the game in No Man's Sky create the worlds rather than players creating them, but there's still, you know, infinite variation in the worlds. It gets repetitive because there's not as many assets as there should be, as there could be. Hopefully that's what they're working on. We don't know what Hello Games is working on. I'm hoping they're planning to add more variety. But yeah, let's move on. We get it that the similarities between Minecraft and No Man's Sky. I want to look to the future. There are several games that are on my radar that are in this same vein of either using procedural generation or using, oh boy, a predator. See if I discovered this yet? Nope. Using a, kill this real quick, then I'll keep talking. Either using procedural generation or player-driven building to create a game with infinite possibilities, basically let players make the game, or players make their own story within a game that does not tell them what to do. It does not have a linear progression, objectives, a storyline that ends, and so forth. And let's see, the first of the games I'd like to talk about, I'll save that one for later. I want to talk about, no, I'll save that one for later. We'll talk about Boundless first. Boundless is, it looks a lot like Minecraft, but maybe taken to a whole new level, which is exactly what I'm talking about. Boundless is a game that, it's kind of a, someone else did a video about this recently. Let me see if I can think of his name. Was it Just Jared? Yeah, I think it was Just Jared Gaming. Just did a video about Boundless, and he said that it looks like kind of a cross between No Man's Sky and Minecraft, because it uses procedural generation to create planets, but it also has a lot more freedom for building things. Basically, the game creates the planets, the natural part of the planet, and there are no buildings, and players make all the buildings, they make all the community. There may not even be any NPCs, there's just players. The only intelligent beings are the players building everything. Everything else is just wild creatures, plants, and the terrain of the planet, which is awesome, I think. Only problem I foresee with it is, well, downside it would have compared to No Man's Sky is that there are no constructs other than player-made ones, meaning you don't get to find cool ruins, which I like in No Man's Sky, and other buildings that have cool effects and whatnot. But oh, it looks like a beautiful game. Obviously, I still love No Man's Sky, and I want No Man's Sky to get updated and be good. And that's another thing I want to mention, just in context. I just, saw on Reddit and Twitter that Harry Denholm, one of the employees in No Man's Sky, quit. I didn't want this video to be a downer again, but it is kind of sad that Harry Denholm quit, which is kind of a bad sign. But we know they're still working on it, because Hello Games today, possibly, to try to allay fears, said that they are still working on the game again, which of course we knew. We didn't really need them to say it again, except maybe we did, because Harry Denholm quit, and he was one of the programmers at Hello Games, and that, makes people freak out, like, oh, they're gonna close, they're gonna stop updating the game. Or other people are like, hi, I told you, Hello Games is dying and stuff. But regardless, I think the game will continue. Hello Games will continue to update it, and I want No Man's Sky to become a much better game, much more variety and everything. And I think they will. I think they'll continue for quite a while at least. But it's good to have other games in mind as well, like Boundless, like I was talking about. It looks gorgeous, Boundless does. It looks like it has a lot of potential. Will probably be a lot more like Minecraft, as far as it's mostly about building rather than just exploring, but it has the exploration aspect, and that's what I like a lot. Minecraft, there's some exploring, but I don't know, it was so, unrealistic looking, it was a turn-off to me. Boundless has kind of cube shapes and such, but it is a lot prettier looking than Minecraft. I like No Man's Sky because it looks very realistic. There isn't any, boxy shapes and stuff on the trees or the things like that. So it's kind of a middle ground. Boundless is between Minecraft and No Man's Sky. So anyway, moving on, another game that's on my radar, which people really haven't been talking about at all, is Dreams. I hadn't heard about it at all until I watched a E3 2015 video, which was from a while back, but it showed the trailers for Dreams, and Dreams has not come out yet. It was supposed to come out in 2016, but it got pushed back, as games often do, and should be coming out this year, 2017. And it looks awesome. In fact, it was kind of a game that I was thinking about. No Man's Sky kind of gave me the idea for a game in which, because that's what No Man's Sky is like. No Man's Sky is like a game where you get into a machine and it takes you to another dream world. You fire up your warp drive and it creates, another star system for you, kind of. The algorithms pull numbers out of the maths and, create the star system when you go to it. And Dreams, at first I thought it was like that. At first I thought Dreams would be a game in which you would, the game would procedurally generate a dream world for you, which may be partly like that, but I think it's mainly, oh goody, there's vortex cubes here. I think I'll ignore that. I don't really feel like fighting the sentinels right now, but it sure looks pretty. I'm probably collecting too much plutonium. Okay. I think Dreams is mainly about player-created areas. After watching a trailer that explained gameplay, it looks like, basically, it's not like Minecraft. The way you build things is not like putting blocks together. Dreams, it looks like you kind of like paint creatures and objects into existence. It's like this gooey mass. It kind of looks like oil paint, and you like use your tool called an imp to paint a shape, and then it gets animated into a living creature or an object or whatever. And the developers said that you basically set the rules for the dream world that you create, and there's tons of possibilities of different dream worlds you could create. The video they showed had like a table with desserts, like the character they were controlling went onto this table covered with cakes and cookies and stuff like that, and like it was a puzzle that you had to like create bridges out of the cake icing and stuff and crazy things like that. And I mean, that's an awesome idea. Making a game about dreams kind of frees you up for complete creativity, because a dream can be anything. It can be any kind of nonsense that you want, and it makes sense because you can explain it away as being a dream. There can be like crazy physics, things floating around, things like that, and it looks like a beautiful game. Obviously we'll have to wait and see when it comes out if it's really as good as it looks in the trailers. But yeah, that's honestly, I'm more excited about Dreams than I am of Boundless, mainly because I had the idea before I found it. I was like, what? The game I was thinking of is already being made. And there's other games that are kind of on my radar. Elite Dangerous, I guess. People keep citing it as being a game like No Man's Sky, but better. Which, I mean, it's not really about planet exploration. It's mostly about flying around in space and space combat and everything. I'm not entirely sure. I'll check it out. It's already been out for a while, so I could read the reviews of it and everything. I might get Elite Dangerous once it finally comes out for PlayStation 4, but I mean, it does seem like the kind of game I've been talking about, a game with no real objective that forces you on a linear path. You basically fly to whatever star system you want, take jobs, make money, fly around, have random encounters and battles. So I think Elite Dangerous is probably a game that I'm going to try. The game that is being hyped as a No Man's Sky-esque game that I don't think is going to be my kind of game, or maybe even a very good game, is Mass Effect Andromeda. It definitely, looks to me like it's going to be another objective-driven game with a linear storyline. Looks like there's going to be like 5 different planets you're supposed to explore and colonize, or something like that. And each planet has its own storyline. And I think that is mostly just pretty much the same as Dragon Age Inquisition. I recently got Dragon Age Inquisition. I really couldn't get into it. I might play it some more, but it's the same thing. Like, you have 9 different areas to go to, and there's a whole bunch of objectives to complete in those 9 areas. But it just seems empty to me. Just, complete those objectives to get, more military power number increased and everything, which I think basically is what in Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be. You're going to go to these different planets, scope them out, complete their storylines, basically get points for, human colonization or something like that. And eventually you'll get to the maximum or whatever and complete the storylines and it'll be over. It's not the kind of game I think of as what should be the next generation of games. I could be wrong. Mass Effect Andromeda might be okay, but knowing BioWare, it probably will just be that kind of game again. Objective completion and then you're done. Star Citizen, the problem with Star Citizen is I don't know if Star Citizen is ever going to come out on PlayStation 4. I don't think it's been confirmed for PlayStation 4. And we don't even know when it's ever even going to get out of, not beta testing, what's it called, early release on Steam and all that. And when it does, it'll probably just be PC only, and I'm just PlayStation. I don't have a PC, and I don't really want to get a PC since I just have one at my work. I don't need one. But yeah, let's see, I think that's about, all the games I wanted to talk about. I really think the video game industry does have a bright future if they realize that objectives completion games are the way of the past, and we kind of have a renaissance moving into these games, infinite possibilities, games like No Man's Sky. I hesitate to say Minecraft again because it's so overused. It is kind of becoming a bit, outdated as well, but it keeps having updates, so whatever. But No Man's Sky, Boundless, and Dreams, I think, are definitely games that are going to prove to be in that young blood, next generation kind of vein that I envision. And I've arrived at the location I was heading towards, so I'm going to stop this video now. Hopefully this has been a video that gives you more hope than the kind of depressing Empty Planet video I did last time, which kind of fit with the Empty Planet. Empty Planets are silent and depressing, and this world was, bright, colorful, and happy. So hopefully this was a video that gave you hope about the future of video games instead of being depressing about how the current state of AAA games and all. So I will leave it there, and I will monologue to you all later.